Have you ever walked down the street and stumbled upon a store you used to love, only to find out it's gone forever? Do you really need your nostalgia fixed? Well, why don't we go through them once more? Here we have 10 stores that don't exist anymore. Number 10. Circuit City. Do you guys remember the days when we used to go to Circuit City to buy electronics? Ah, those were the good old days. But why is it that Circuit City is sadly one of the stores that don't exist anymore? You see, Circuit City was actually one of the pioneers of electronics retailing. They were one of the first stores to sell electronics in the US, and it did it really well. In fact, they were so good that they even gave Best Buy a run for their money. So, what went wrong? Well, it's simple really. Circuit City failed to adapt to the changing times. They didn't jump on the online shopping bandwagon fast enough, and that's where they lost out. When online shopping started to become popular, Circuit City was still stuck in its brick-and-mortar ways. By the time they realized their mistake, it was too late. Let's look into number 9, A&P. There's a lot to unpack about why this once iconic grocery chain has disappeared from our lives. For most of us, A&P was always a bit of a childhood staple. Whether it was tagging along with our mums on grocery runs or stopping in to grab a snack after school, there was just something about the place that felt special. Maybe it was the vintage signage or the fact that it had been around for over a century, but there was just a certain charm that A&P had that no other store could replicate. Unfortunately, as time went on, A&P started to struggle and close all of its remaining stores. Number 8. F.W. Woolworth Company. You see, back in the day, Woolworths was the place to be. You could find just about anything there, from clothing to home goods to toys and more. It was like a one-stop shop for all your needs. And want to know the best part? Everything was super affordable. Yes, in fact, the company was famous for its 5 and dime pricing. Everything in the store was either 5 or 10 cents. But as time went on, things started to change. The last Woolworth store closed its doors in 1997, marking the end of an era. But hey, let's not dwell on the past too much. Instead, let's remember the good times and appreciate the memories we have of this iconic store. Number 7. Sam Goody. Sam Goody was a store that sold music, movies, and video games. It was founded in 1951 and was popular for its wide range of products and excellent customer service. The store was named after its founder, Samuel Gutowitz, and it quickly became a go-to place for music lovers. Back in the day, Sam Goody was the place to be. It was the coolest store in the mall, and everyone wanted to go there. The store had everything from the latest hits to the old classics, and you could always count on finding something you liked. It was the perfect place to hang out with friends, listen to music, and browse through the latest releases. But sadly, as time passed, the store started to lose its charm. With the rise of digital music and streaming services, people began to buy music and movies online, and physical stores like Sam Goody started to struggle. The store closed its doors in 2006, and since then, music lovers have been missing their favorite store. Number 6. Borders. Do you remember wandering through the aisles, browsing through the endless stacks of books, and sipping on a cup of coffee in their cafe? It was the ultimate chill spot. So, what happened? Well, just like what happened to other retailers, the rise of ebooks and online shopping played a huge role. People started to prefer the convenience of shopping from home rather than physically going to a bookstore. Plus, with the introduction of e-readers, it became easier to carry around multiple books in a single device. But that's not all. Borders also made some costly mistakes that ultimately led to its downfall. For example, they invested heavily in CDs and DVDs, which later became obsolete. They also failed to create an online presence early on, which put them at a disadvantage compared to their competitors. Number 5. Fry's Electronics. For those who don't know, Fry's Electronics was a massive electronics retailer that was once a go-to destination for all things tech-related. But sadly, Fry's Electronics is no more. It's gone, vanished, disappeared, just like that annoying pop-up ad you can't seem to get rid of. And it's a real shame too, because Fry's was more than just a store. It was a destination. It was a place where you could spend hours upon hours browsing through aisles upon aisles of gadgets and other gizmos. But why did Fry's Electronics have to go the way of the dinosaur? Well, it's a complicated story, and there was a ton of reasons. One that involves a changing marketplace, fierce competition, and perhaps even a touch of mismanagement. And while it's easy to point fingers and assign blame, the truth is, Fry's Electronics just couldn't keep up with the times. Number 4. Linens and Things. Now Linens and Things had these endless aisles of bedding, towels, and kitchen gadgets, and it was obviously more interesting for our mums than us, right? Sadly, those days are long gone, and Linens and Things is now one of the many stores that have disappeared from our shopping landscape. So, what happened? Well, it turns out that Linens and Things simply couldn't keep up with the changing times. Just like other businesses faced, online shopping became more and more popular, and brick-and-mortar stores like Linens and Things struggled to compete. Plus, with the rise of stores like Bed Bath & Beyond and Target, which offered similar products at lower prices, it was hard for Linens and Things to stay afloat. Number 3. Radio Shack. We all can agree that this was a nerd's paradise. But why did Radio Shack have to go and leave us like this? Well, there are a few reasons. For starters, they just couldn't keep up with the times, and people started shopping online. Obviously, Radio Shack just couldn't compete. Another reason is that they had a bit of an identity crisis. Were they a place to buy electronics? A place to get cell phones? A place to buy batteries? It was hard to say, and I think that confusion hurt them in the long run. But you know what? As sad as it is that Radio Shack is no more, we can still look back on it fondly. It was a place where we could find all sorts of gadgets and gizmos, and it was always exciting to walk in and see what new things they had in stock. Number 2. Toys R Us. Now this was literal heaven for us and will always be. Lack of innovation in the stores themselves. While Toys R Us had been around for decades, the stores themselves had remained relatively unchanged. They weren't adapting to the changing market and weren't providing the same exciting and unique experiences that they once did. And let's not forget about the competition. Other retailers, such as Walmart and Target, began to sell toys, and they did it at lower prices. It was tough for Toys R Us to compete with their high prices, especially when people could find the same products for cheaper at other stores. Number 1. Blockbuster. Have you ever wondered why you can't rent DVDs at Blockbuster anymore? In the past few years. With the rise of streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, people just don't go to video stores like they used to. I mean, why bother leaving the comfort of your own home when you can stream all the movies and TV shows you want with just a few clicks of a button? But here's the thing, Blockbuster could have survived if they had adapted to the changing times. Unfortunately, they didn't. Instead, they held onto their old business model for too long, and by the time they realized they needed to change, it was too late. It's sad to see a once great institution like Blockbuster disappear, but hey, at least we still have the memories, right? I mean, who else remembers getting charged a late fee for returning a movie a day late? Now that was good times. Anyways, guys, that's our tour of the 10 stores that time has forgotten. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little nostalgic after that journey down memory lane. Your memories of these beautiful stores in the comments section below. Anyways, see you in another episode, so better stay tuned for more.